Hey, you want to hear some poems about ducks?
No.
Nah.
Nope.
Maybe. Howdy, folks. Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG Quantus server, hanging out here at the test kitchen, because this is a special episode. It's Cooking with the DuckFarmers, and I am joined by Mrs. the DuckFarmer.
Howdy, folks.
She is there in the tech booth there across the way, hiding behind the no-seam glass.
There are so many dials and switches in here, it's not even funny.
Dirty little secret. That entire board with all those levers and switches and all those pretty lights doesn't mean a thing. Doesn't do anything. People just play with it in software. They don't do anything with those anymore.
Whatever.
Yep, it's the truth. Anyway, so the test kitchen. We are here because we're going to talk about cooking a recipe. We're going to talk about food. We're going to be going, yum, 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 tasty stuff, because who doesn't like to eat?
Hey, don't look at me. I definitely like to eat.
Yep. I was waiting. I didn't see anybody in the audience saying that they didn't like to eat. So, yes, we are going to talk about a dish. I always called it breakfast because it was what I learned in Mexico. And when I was making it here for the family, they were saying, well, what's the name of it? And I said, I don't know. They just said, hey, come eat breakfast. And I'd say, yum. And so my niece started calling it Mexican breakfast because I learned it in Mexico. It was a bunch of years later that I did a little searching around and I figured out it's probably Migas is the name. It's pretty much just scrambled eggs with stuff. And so let's go ahead and talk about the stuff here a little bit. Bleep. Here I've got a clipboard with ingredients. Migas. That's how you will spell it out. And there's no real hard, fast, firm rule or recipe for it. This is just what I do. And it's pretty much ingredients per person, so you can scale it up or down depending on how hungry the people are and how many people you're making this. So, bacon, that's the first thing you need. I never ate it with bacon in Mexico. Most of the time that was omitted, or it would be chorizo, which is a spicy sausage down there. But quite often, I'm here in the States. I'm going to eat it with bacon because, yum, bacon.
Because pork product.
Bacon makes everything better. Corn tortillas. And you could do this with flour. No. Corn tortillas. You could do this with chopped up potatoes. In fact, frozen, what are the southern hash browns?
They call them southern-style hash browns, and you can find them frozen in most grocery stores.
Yeah, you can grab a bag of those and just keep them in your freezer, and when you're wanting to make some migas, you can go ahead and instead of using tortillas, some hash browns, the chunky rectangular ones as opposed to the long skinny strips. It's just a different variety on this.
But we're going to go do tortillas because that's the right thing to do.
Yes, I much prefer tortillas. Niece, the duck farmer, really prefers the potatoes, but she's not here, so garlic. I love garlic, and so I go with some of that. Eggs. Yep, gotta have eggs. This is scrambled eggs, Mexican style. Cheese pretty much is a topping at the last, and then salt and pepper. If you've got some hot chilies you want to toss in there, any spices that you love, go wild. Chilies, though, if you've got fresh chilies, if you've got dried chilies, whatever you like, go ahead and chop that all up and throw it in there. I tend to have dried peppers on hand because they last forever.
And if you're going to use the fresh chilies, a couple of things for you to keep in mind, particularly if you've never used fresh chilies before. First, if you're going to use them fresh, go through, cut them up. If you're concerned about the heat, take out the seeds and the pith, which is the whitish stuff on the inside, because that'll take care of most of the heat and leave you with the flavor. So that's one thing you need to know. The other thing you need to know, if you've chopped up a fresh chili and you need to wash your hands, don't just do it with soap and water. It won't get the capsaicin off your hands. What you want to do is give them a good washing, and you want to use a little bit of a bleach solution. Don't just dunk your hands in straight bleach. We don't want to cause you problems. But make a weak bleach solution, wash your hands. That should get the capsaicin off so that you don't have one of those horrible experiences where you chop a chili and then scratch your eye. Learn from my fail, people.
Yes, it is not fun to do that. And yeah, don't pick your nose either, because that'll give you the flaming nose of death. It's not much fun. Once you've washed your hand nice in that bleach solution, then you can go ahead and wash your hands with soap and water, and that will take it right off, because the chemistry and stuff because of the bleach. Yay, bleach. So these are the ingredients, and so let's go ahead and start grabbing them real quick. Let's grab our stuff here. And the first thing we want to do is prepare the tortillas.
Wait, Grok, you don't start with tortillas, you start with bacon.
Well, I had tortillas in the hand, and frankly, it really doesn't matter what I use. I can go ahead and start with bacon if I want. But really, the first thing to do is prep everything. Get everything chopped and mangled and grated and everything that needs to be done. It's what the French call mise en place, which is French for get all your stuff all chopped up and get it all ready and put it in little bowls if you want, and then you can cook without burning your stuff, which is pretty amazing for, 3 words.
Impressive.
Yes. So, all right. So we've got bacon and we've got corn tortillas. So typically, I start with bacon and the tortillas at the same time, because I keep them in the same place, which is the freezer. Because bacon, yes, here's a rasher of bacon, and I almost never cook with that. I almost always will take my big slab of bacon and I will throw it in the freezer, and I don't cook with bacon every day, and so it'll go bad if it's not in the freezer, and that way it can last forever. And 2, I almost always want bacon bits that I'm cooking with rather than a full long strip of bacon or a rasher of bacon. No, I want the little bits all chopped up, and I'm too lazy to chop them up after it's cooked. I'd rather do it beforehand. And so if you've got that frozen slab of bacon, you cut it lengthwise across the slices.
I think you mean widthwise.
Yeah, widthwise, across the slices. So you've got like a 1/4-inch slice across. It's about a rasher of bacon worth, but it's already pre-chopped up for you. Nice little rectangles. So when you fry that up, hey, bacon bits already.
Instant bacon bits.
Instant bacon bits, and it works really well that way. So I pretty much consider a 1/4-inch slice across the bacon to be a rasher's worth, as far as measuring things out. And then I cut a couple more because I like bacon. Tortillas, those I'll buy because I like them and they store, again, very nicely in the freezer. I'll buy a package of 50 or 100 and pull out what I need and then throw the rest of them in the freezer.
If you don't have a freezer, you only want to buy as many corn tortillas as you're going to use, because there's nothing worse than moldy tortillas.
Well, eating moldy tortillas.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so, but you take the tortillas out of the freezer, or fresh if you got them, and then separate out however many you need, because they're going to be stuck together. You may have to get one of those little butter knives to sit there and find a crevice and pop off, the amount of tortillas you need. Split them apart, throw them on the counter, let them thaw. It'll take about 2-3 minutes. So by the time you're done chopping up your bacon, your tortillas will be all thawed out. Sometimes they've got a layer of frost, so you kind of knock that off, and then you're ready to chop them up. So I think it's time to chop things up. And look at that impressive chopping skill right there. We've got our mise en place. We've got the corn tortillas all chopped up next to the bacon. A little bit of garlic and big and chunky. That's how I prefer it. I've got a bowl of the eggs all scrambled up. And then I've got some Colby Jack. That's the type of cheese that I tend to do. It's a mixture of the Monterey Jack and a Colby, which is a cheddar, and it works very good. It's very tasty. It melts very nicely. What you can't see is I went ahead and chopped up several hot peppers. I chopped them up very fine with my knife and then tossed them in the scrambled eggs so that they're hydrating up.
Caliente.
Deliciosos. All right, so what we need to do now is we're going to have to turn on the heat and put a pan on here. I think we're going to have to move the garlic because the pan's going to go right there. So let me go get the pan out. Well, I've got the burner heated up, so let's put the frying pan in place. There's the frying pan. So next, what we want to do is take all of the bacon and fry that up into the frying pan. That will, one, cook the bacon, because that's important, and two, that will get us the bacon grease. So when the bacon is all cooked, then we'll want to go ahead and pull that bacon grease out. So and we'll want to save all that. So while that bacon is cooking up, and keep an eye on it because you don't want to burn your bacon, medium high heat, not too high of a heat because, again, don't burn your bacon. What we really want to do is cook it and also render out as much of that bacon fat as possible, because that's yummy stuff to cook with. If you are doing a huge amount of bacon here, you're probably going to get far more bacon fat than you need. So go ahead and pull that out and save it. If you've got a little ceramic bowl or a really good glass jar that's like a mason jar or something that's thick, you can put that hot grease in and let it cool and throw it in your freezer and use it later. Skip the mason jar. Go with a ceramic bowl, because then you can sit there when you want to make migas later and you don't have any bacon, you still have the bacon grease. You get the flavor. Flavor. So definitely want to do that, and I think my bacon is about ready. So I'm going to pull this out of the pan.
Oh man, I wish I weren't in the tech booth. I bet that stuff smells amazing.
It smells really good, and one of the benefits of being the cook, you get to taste the stuff. So I like making lots of the bacon because I'm constantly going, well, I'll just take a little piece. Oh, I'm just going to take another little piece. And oh, I'm just going to take a little bit more. So that's why I need lots of bacon. So we'll pull that out, and we're going to move the corn tortillas into the hot bacon fat and fry them up. We want to fry them up hard. This point, you need to really watch these tortillas as you're frying them up. Toss them constantly. You've got your spatula out. Toss them around. Make sure that they're coated in the bacon fat, because that's what's going to cook them. Plus, flavor. It's really yummy at this point. But constantly be tossing with them. At this point, I might toss in a little pinch of salt, just because it's about the only place that you're going to be able to introduce salt to the tortillas themselves. And so just a little bit is what you're looking at, but just constantly toss them. You've got a decent amount of heat in the pan from cooking the bacon, which I've moved over here into the bowl. And so you want to go ahead and make sure you're tossing them around. If you get distracted, you come over here, you start looking at some other things, stuff will happen.
Yeah. Grok?
Yeah?
You need to... I think you're burning the tortillas.
No. I'm just barely looking over
Grok,
here. What?
Just check.
Okay, fine. I'll check that. Oh, crap. I burnt the tortillas. So, yeah, don't take your eyes off them for a second, because you'll burn them. I think I'm going to remake a new batch of tortillas.
Yeah, because right now you've got some fine charcoal.
Yeah, I got some great charcoal. I'm just going to edit this out in the post-production, and they'll never notice that I burnt that. Yep. All right, perfectly cooked tortillas. First try even. This is great. You want to get a little bit of color. You want them to be a little bit brown. Don't try to get dark brown, because they'll go burnt really fast. From golden brown and delicious to black charcoal is like 2 microseconds. It's really fast. So just get it so it's got a good hard crunch to it, as much as you like. I like it fairly crunchy. Kind of think corn chips. That's what we're making. Anyway, at the last second, while that is almost done, toss in the garlic and toss that around for, maybe 20-30 seconds. You'll get this big, nice smell of garlic as you toss that around. So get the bacon also back in there along with your garlic, and toss that around for another 10-15 seconds, just to kind of bring it up to temperature is all. And then we need to sit there and take the eggs and pour that into the bowl, or the frying pan. At this point, it's scrambled eggs. So just go ahead and move them around. Cook up scrambled eggs like you like to cook up scrambled eggs. It's scrambled eggs. It just has stuff, tasty stuff in it. So go ahead and move that around, and about when it's close to but not quite cooked, when you've got, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds still before the eggs are done, then go ahead and grab all the cheese and toss that in the pan.
That is looking good.
Oh, you know it. So that last little bit of heat will melt the cheese nicely, and I'll give it a little bit of stirring to kind of fold that cheese in. Throw that onto plates, and if you like, you can just put a little sprinkling of the cheese on top. Not a huge amount because it's already got a bunch of cheese, but that little tiny bit of cheese, by the time you take that plate to the table, it will have melted that little bit, and so you get a little melty cheese right on top. Oh,
You can also put a little bit of chorizo, not chorizo. You can
Cilantro.
also put some cilantro. That's what I was thinking about.
Yes, but that's nasty stuff.
I like it.
Yeah, well, you're wrong because it's nasty stuff.
It's not nasty.
It is nasty, disgusting, and tastes like soap. So, yeah, you can garnish it at that point. Once you've got it on the plates, you can sit there and eat however you want. You could sit there and throw salsa on it, like Niece the DuckFarmer likes. I like it with Cholula. It's a yummy hot sauce. You could just eat it as is.
It's pretty good just by itself.
Yeah, but
Put cilantro on.
no cilantro, none. Here, let me show you a picture of what the last time I made this looks like. Doesn't that look good? Don't you wish you had some? Well, you can. Just go ahead and make it. So, this has been Cooking with the DuckFarmers, teaching you Mexican breakfast, or migas.
Yum.
Oh, let me tell you, yum. It's really yum. Anyway, I hope you've had fun with it watching us, and if you have any suggestions of what you would like to have us cook, feel free to put them down there in the comment section, and we'll think about it.
I'm
Maybe.
thinking about it.
You're thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to eat the migas.
I want some.
Well, okay. Let's go get some migas. I'm going to plate this up, and we'll head out. So anyway, it's been Grok the DuckFarmer here on the FTOG Quantus server, having fun making some Mexican breakfast. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Grok? Grok? I think this booth locks from the outside. Could you come and get me out, please? Grok? Anybody? Link?